Hey folks, Sam here. Took me a couple days to make this video. It just was a lot of trying times in my head, and some of you understand it, some of you won't. Some of you know me. You've known me for years. We went to school together, or you know me through work, or you know me through my travels, and you know, you got an opinion of me. I get it. But most of the people, like I said, that know me have known me for a long period of time, even in high school, knowing I'm the same overbearing, opinionated prick now as I was when I was 16, 17 years old. Some of you never met me and you just see the stuff I post on Facebook, you know, my adventures or my opinions and stuff like that. And then there's some of you that don't have a freaking clue who I am. You just based an opinion off of something that you think to be fact. You know, I get it every day. I get the bunny hugging dipshits sending me messages wishing me and my family were dead because I hunt. You know, I get the vegans that say, hope your fat ass dies of a heart attack from eating meat and you're such a mean prick. You know, I get the libtards that are, think I'm an asshole because I want to carry a gun. You know, I get them guys from overseas that don't have the freedoms that we have and the gun rights, and they just think I'm the biggest redneck asshole in the world, you know. I get the people that say, oh, you back Trump, so you must be a racist and all that shit. And, you know, it's pretty, most of the time I find the shit funnier than hell. But I start to look at things in a big picture. And each one of these shootings or bombings we have makes me look at things in a lot of different ways. Back when I was 18 years old, from the time I was in about 7th grade, I knew I wanted to be a United States Marine. I really didn't know why. I knew they were badasses. I knew that they were a brotherhood. I had a lot of friends, very close friends that were older than me that were all Marines, and so that had some influence. So the day after my 18th birthday, because I could have had my mom sign the paper when I was 17, but I didn't want to put that on her. So the day after my 18th birthday, I went to Milwaukee MEP Center and I signed up for the Marine Corps and went to training, and that has kind of prepared me for shit that's going to have to get done here very soon. You know, I was taught killing is okay and stuff like that. But anyways, on to this shit that went on this weekend. We had 100 innocent Americans got shot again by what mainstream media or mainstream thinking calls another terrorist attack. And we must make it harder for anybody to get a weapon to stop these things. Now let's just think about this. This is called a terrorist attack. And I bought into that bullshit line until yesterday. Yesterday it hit me. And this is probably going to wake a few of you up. But this ain't a terrorist attack. None of these are terrorist attacks. These are acts of war. This is what some of us, 10% of the population has gone through training and learned that this is an act of war. This is a known military force, whether you call it a religious force, a Muslim, or whatever thing you want to call it, a radical force, whatever. It is an armed army, a force, and it is declared war on the United States. And we have this image in our head that nobody will ever attack America because everybody has a gun. Well, not everybody has a gun, but everybody has a mouth. I've learned that. There's a bunch of son of a bitches out there running their mouth about me and my guns, and you want to take my guns away to stop terrorist attacks? Okay, but here's something you got to think about. We need a well-regulated militia. That was to protect our country. But we also have the right to keep and bear arms so that that militia never infringes on our rights as people. So we have a comma in there. A well-regulated militia, blah, 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 comma. The people have a right to keep and bear arms. So that shit's pretty clear. So now we have a well-regulated militia. We have the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, Marine Corps. That's basically our well-regulated militia. It's dedicated to protecting our country. And we have joined this coalition of other forces that basically is a bunch of, why are we going to protect a country that already has disarmed their people? That's on them. That's their fucking problem. Let them deal with the shit. We have our own shit to deal with. But we joined a coalition. You know, back when ISIS was al-qaeda, we kicked their ass. We bombed the shit out of them. We killed them. We hunted them down. They had cards, playing cards, with general or, you know, known al-Qaeda's faces on them. And we hunted them people. And they would hide in caves, and we would bunker bust their ass, and we would blow them up, and we were on the offense. And then we done such a good job, everybody said, you know what? You're going to be part of our coalition. And our fearless leaders in Washington said, oh, good deal. We get to join a big club. And now we have that coalition that says, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. So then we have people saying we've been bombing ISIS for 10 years and it doesn't do any good. No, the coalition's been bombing ISIS for 10 years and it ain't doing any good. When ISIS doesn't play by the same rules as we do, they win. Hats off. Them goat humpers are way smarter than you guys are giving them credit for. They will set up headquarters next to a school or in a hospital. And why is that? Because they know that the coalition won't bomb them. Back in the day when I was in the service, and we had General Gray as our Commandant of the Marine Corps, and we had Ronald Reagan as our president, they had the same thinking I had. Hey, school's out at 3:30, at 4:30, we're leveling that son of a bitch, and by 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have a tent up there, and them kids are going to go to school the next day. Now, with a lot of, some people are saying, Jesus Christ, Sam, are you friggin' crazy? These people are going to resent us and da-da-da. Yeah, they might, but this is war. And you know what? That kid's going to go to school, and that first 2 days, he's going to hate us because we killed little Johnny, his buddy, or little, I don't know, Jihad or whatever the hell their name is over there. But we killed that little kid, and he's going to hate us. But then he's going to be walking home from school and he's going to see that, holy, there was a hospital there once. Or, you know, that's where them bad guys hang out. And then he's going to start, I'm not joining them. They get their ass kicked every day. Everywhere they go, they get bombed. I'm not joining them. So now maybe he doesn't even remember he resents us. All he knows is I'm not being a part of that shit because that shit is bad. But, you know, so they don't play by our rules. They set up where they're not supposed to. That's not fair. How are we supposed to make a difference if you don't play by our rules? You know, and then, like I said, they come over here. Hats off, man. They attack us on our own soil, and somehow, every time it happens, we get more and more and more divided, and we get more and more and more political. And it comes down to it, man. You know what? If you want to hate me because I'm a redneck, go ahead and hate me. If you want to hate me because I'm a hunter, go ahead and hate me. If you want to hate me because I own guns, go ahead and hate me. If you want to hate me because I own meat, go ahead and hate me. But I'll be goddamned if I'm going to sit back and let you hate me because I'm a proud frickin' American. You can kiss my ass. You know, I see these posts that guys are saying, I stand behind you in a grocery store with a concealed carry and everything else. I don't even give them pricks the satisfaction, because the God's honest truth, if shit like that happens, just like that post says, I'm going to save a lot of people that I don't even know and I don't even care about. But I hope that there's people there that are concealed carry that, you know, a lot of these people don't carry because they can't fathom killing somebody like I can. But to have that gun, because when I run out of ammo, maybe you could slide me yours and I could keep going. But, you know, that has nothing to do with me being an American. That has to do with me being a man and the man I am. You know, decisions are going to have to be made. People are going to die. Lives are going to be taken. And it's going to take an armed force here in the United States to combat the armed force of the enemy that's already here and declared war on us. It's no longer terrorism. It's war. And all you people that want to hate me, fine. Sit your ass down, shut the F up, let me do what I got to do, and hate me when it's over. I don't really give a shit. But I made an oath a long time ago to defend my country against foreign and domestic. I really didn't know what my country meant when I did that, because it was a small place. It was Wild Rose, Washera County, somewhat of Wisconsin. But I didn't know there was all these stupid pricks out there that I really wouldn't give a shit about. And I don't give a shit about them today. You are just going to benefit for the fact that I am trying to keep my way of life alive, and you are just going to benefit from that. And that's kind of what our country was founded on. A very small percentage of armed men made this country what it is today. And the rest, the people that couldn't fight or didn't want to fight or whatever, sat back. It's been in every war. There's been sympathizers. There's been people that can't fight a war. They sit back, they whine, moan, groan, piss, and complain. But there's a 10% of us that get the shit done, and we're the guys that should be making the rules, and we're the guys that should be making the decisions, just like it was the day when our forefathers founded this country and made the Constitution. The reason that them Bill of Rights is there and we have a right to keep and bear arms and everything else is because our men fought for that right. They didn't let some little panty-waist libtard into that meeting to say, well, I don't think that they should, everybody should. No, that shit don't happen, and that shit shouldn't happen today. That is the reason that we need a president that's going to stand up to people and everything. I don't care if you don't think it's Donald Trump, but it damn sure ain't Hillary Clinton. I don't care if you think this war is wrong. It doesn't frickin' matter. It's wrong. I agree with you. It's wrong, but it's here, and we have to deal with it. And until you start thinking about things in black and white, remove the gray, remove the unicorns, shit and rainbows, and think about shit in black and white, you'll see what needs to be done. Till then, like I said, sit your ass down, shut the F up, and let me do what I got to be done, and let the other men do what's got to be done. And the people that can do the job will make sure there's something here for you to bitch about tomorrow.